let's start with Halo, because
Cool.
we spoke about Halo. We love Halo Infinite's multiplayer, and we can't wait to play the campaign, especially co-op. Except it isn't coming until May 2022, at the
Yeah,
earliest, which is
yeah,
it hurts so much because
it does.
I mean I've said a few times now I really do want to play the campaign, but I'd love to play it co-op. But
Mm.
should I wait for May? No, that seems so fast. So I'm probably just gonna play it all by myself.
When's Halo Infinite Co-op coming? It's gonna be May.
Oh, why? Why you
Nice.
like this? Mouse, add that to the counter. Add another 2 there.
Yeah, I mean, I've played most Halo campaigns co-op. I think they're stellar when they're played co-op. They're just so
Mm,
much fun.
yeah.
And it's a bummer that, yeah, initially they said, oh, the co-op is coming after the first season. But when Halo Infinite's multiplayer launched, they were like, our first season is going to be longer than 3 months because,
Mm,
hey, December is a thing, and we don't want people working through December just as this game is launched at the end of November,
yeah. Same.
So, I understand it. It's just a bummer.
Yeah.
Like,
But tell me,
yeah.
what is Forge? Because that's coming with season
Ooh.
3.
So Forge is a custom game mode and map maker. So
Okay.
people can take maps, they can edit like where vehicles spawn, where weapons spawn, if they spawn at all,
Mm.
and they can create like custom objectives and so Forge is fucking cool.
So what you're telling me is we're gonna get a new season of Red vs Blue.
Hell yeah, that's 100% gonna happen. Like,
Mm,
um, yeah, Forge I think was first introduced in Halo 3, but it's been a staple since. Like
mm,
people make some great things in
yeah.
Forge. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that to launch too.
Nice. Okay, now we can
Yeah,
get to
May
just
2022
now.
sucks, but also happy that Microsoft and 343 are like, let's not make these people work
Mm,
through December, especially after a year of what was likely some intense
crunch.
crunch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Now we can get to the even worse news, which is so. I mean, we've been gone 2 weeks. So since then, there's been, big shocker, continued Activision drama.
I mean,
Um,
if you just to catch you
yeah.
up, if you haven't heard, a report from I think the Washington Post, if I'm not mistaken, came out basically saying that Bobby Kotick uh, knew of all knew of all the things that was happening in the studios that they own, which is not shocking at all.
Mhm.
Actively helped cover up incidents of sexual harassment and in some cases rape, and verbally threatened to kill one of his assistants. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the context. Now the story today is that Sony and Xbox have come out and calling Activision Blizzard, during this, as the story says, disturbing crisis. Now Nintendo have also added their voice to the fire, basically just condemning, or like, I mean, what is the actual statement here? I don't even know.
I know Microsoft
Uh,
said, I know Phil Spencer was quite blunt. He was like, we are actively looking at our future relationship with Activision as a
yeah,
publisher. And Sony was kind of saying this, Jim Ryan was kind of saying the same, which
yeah,
should raise red flags because Sony is like Activision's biggest customer.
yeah.
Um, and then a few days later, there's a former Sony employee suing Sony because of the same sexual harassment
Mm.
issues that Activision is showing you. So really, the industry is just fucked,
Yeah,
honestly.
there's it's actually sad to say because I thought, I'm grateful that all of these companies are coming out saying like, this behavior, we don't condone it, X, Y, Z. But it did make me wonder, okay, you've now condemned it. Who in your ranks has suffered the same thing and who's now going to speak up, going like, hold up, you
Yep.
can't condemn this company if I've suffered
Yeah,
something, yeah.
it's like you can't be like, oh, this is horrible, and then you do it as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um,
Yeah. But just
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, but just on this report, because Nintendo added their voice to, the collective, Doug Bowser reportedly expressed concern over the ongoing situation at Activision Blizzard in a company-wide email, calling the allegations distressing and disturbing.
Mm,
He
mm.
said, along with all of you, I've been following the latest developments. Um, you know, and ongoing reports of sexual harassment and toxicity at the company. I find these accounts distressing and disturbing. They run counter to my values as well as Nintendo's beliefs, values, and policies. But
I
yeah,
mean,
it's
at the end of the day, like, there was speculation and calls that Bobby Kotick would be forced to step down from his
mm,
shareholders. Activision is a publicly run company, and the shareholders backed him because guess what? Activision still makes a fuck ton of money,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, Bobby Kotick leaving would almost
do
certainly tank the
do a
stock
tank
price even
stock,
more
yeah,
than what it has tanked.
yeah,
And people are just concerned about their bottom line and not the people that empower that bottom line.
yeah,
I would think that so all three platform holders coming out against Activision would be enough to shove him out the door. But the latest I saw was that he said if he can't enact change quickly, he'll step down. So it's
mm,
like I saw a very good tweet going around. It's like can what tumor says it will leave the body if it can find a cure for cancer? It's like
okay.
you're talking about like
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
last thing I'll say on this story is that yeah, it's great that they've all come out, and called Activision Blizzard out. But I think the only sort of action that will have an impact is if imagine Xbox turns around and says like we're pulling Activision titles from our storefronts. Like I don't think that would happen because the
It
sad
wouldn't
reality
sadly.
is that money is money. But that would be a huge wow. Okay, they're
Yeah.
really taking action here. Um,
I mean, if it's like we are not selling Call of Duty anymore,
yeah, can
it's
you
like
imagine?
you will pull the trigger on that
Sure.
because the thing is you don't want to do that. You don't want to be an Xbox or a Sony and do that, and then the other platforms like cool,
Come
like
play it
that's
on our
yeah,
platforms. Yeah, it's
exactly. So it would have to be like a collective decision, and I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
no.
I mean this is sort of what the ESA would kind of like broker, but the ESA has kind of just made a fairly fucking nothing statement about all of this as they
Mm,
would. Um, So at the end of the day, it's all just money, and this will continue happening. It's not exclusive to the games industry. It's we just see it more there,
yeah,
and it's equally disgusting everywhere else. And
yeah.
you as a customer also are in a bit of a weird situation because like do you boycott the games? Well, then the people who actually make the games and are passionate about actually changing the company
Mm,
are the ones that will lose their jobs. So I don't even know how you combat this outside of calling it out, continually bringing it to the to attention and making
mm,
people aware of it and not dismissing it.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of people dismissing it, and that's the worst thing you could possibly do.
mm, yeah.
Um, so I think when we were away, we also missed the fact that Jen O'Neill,
Mm.
uh, the so when Jay, what's his name? Jay Brack,
Oh,
the
this
former
this dude,
head
J. Allen Brack. Yeah.
Jay Allen Brack, when he left Blizzard, Bobby Kotick appointed Mike Ybarra, who's formerly at Microsoft, and Jen O'Neill, who was the
Mm,
president of Vicarious Visions, as
uh,
co-leaders of
yeah.
Blizzard Entertainment. And at the time, they were put into that position with the exact same pay that they were, or the remuneration that they
Yeah.
were getting in their previous roles. And 3 months down the line, and that hadn't changed. So, in light of them being accused of sexism, sexual harassment, and unequal pay for women, they appointed two co-leaders of Blizzard and then paid the man more.
More. Yeah.
And then when she left, citing that as one of the issues, they then only then offered her equal pay.
Yeah, which
So
is
she was very critical of
too
them during
little,
this week
too
now that she's
late.
done there, and
Yeah.
she's just like, she saw no indication of anything
Of
changing there.
change. Yeah.
And that's why she left. And I respect
Sad,
the hell
sad
out of
time.
her for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for making that big step. Well, well,
Activision, a cesspool, continues to be.
every
Uh,
week we have something. Story
yeah.
continuously developing.
Which to me is good. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
going
yeah.
away.
No, not a bad thing. It's just more thing of
Yeah.
like there will be something every week. Like we've seen this
Yeah.
for the last 2-3 months now. We've
But people
actually
should
had
stay on them. Like
yeah,
fucking get them.
yeah,
Like do not let this go away.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the Game Awards coming up, I just thought it would be nice to quickly touch on the Golden Joystick Awards, which I think is
Hmm.
this completely community voted, or is there panel as well? I don't actually know.
I do not know.
Yeah, the long-standing award show that is decided by public vote and hands out gongs to the best of our industry. So we're just gonna fly through these. I just think it's interesting to see, where the sentiment is for the year. So I'm just gonna nitpick some of the best awards. So best storytelling, Life is Strange. Best multiplayer game, It Takes Two. Best
Mm.
audio, Resident Evil Village. And just even on those three alone, it's interesting because I think those games are nominees in, the same Game Award nominees. So will they
I
get the
think
awards there?
Village
I
is
don't
even
know.
nominated for Game of the Year, which is like I enjoyed that
I
game, but
love Village, not Game of the Year, but we'll talk about that when we get to our predictions. Probably next week or the week after.
mm.
Best visual design, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Let me just shoot through here. Best indie
Best
game,
indie game,
Death's Door.
Death's Door.
It's
I
cool,
could get
cool.
behind that. Yeah.
Liked it. This I found so fascinating. Best performer, Maggie Robertson for Lady Dimitrescu, which not at all knocking her performance, but when you play Resident Evil, you realize the performance is so short-lived. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
very brief. I
and
mean, she does a lot with the little that is
exactly,
there,
yeah.
but yeah.
Breakthrough Award House
Mm.
Marquee, which is cool for Returnal.
No, you got it right
Uh,
the first
PC Game of the Year, Hitman 3. Nintendo Game of the Year, Metroid Dread. Xbox Game of the Year, Psychonauts 2. PlayStation Game of the Year, Resident Evil Village.
Why didn't
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank win there?
Yeah,
That's
well, why
confusing. Or
didn't Ratchet and
Returnal.
Clank or Returnal win it? That blows my mind. But anyway,
That's
yeah.
confusing. Okay.
Most wanted game, Elden Ring. I am there, 100%. Critics' Choice Awards, Deathloop. What? Ultimate Game of the Year, Resident Evil Village.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Ultimate
Ultimate
Hardware all
hardware of all
time,
time.
PC. How does PC not win this every year purely because it's PC?
Ultimate game of all time, Dark
Dark
Souls.
Souls. I mean, I like Dark
This
Souls.
is what people were talking about. There was so much like discourse on Twitter about Dark Souls being named this ultimate
Ultimate
game of
game
all
of all
time.
time.
Like,
I
I didn't
think,
realize this is where it came from.
yeah, I think. Look, it's interesting because, look, I don't know what games have previously run this sword, but I can appreciate Dark Souls because that sort of kicked off. It put that genre on the map. Let's call it. I mean, Demon Souls existed, but Dark Souls is the one that got people playing. The
Hmm.
From
Hmm.
games, those punishing games that led to the likes of Bloodborne and Sekiro and all these other spin-off titles. Well, not spin-off titles, but games that follow the same vein. Yeah,
Hmm.
I just think this is interesting because this is completely community voted. The Game Awards, I think it's skewed differently, where a percentage of votes is determined by industry experts and insiders, and then another percentage determined by community votes. So I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure these games will change, or maybe not. Maybe we'll see the same games in the same categories in the Game Awards. And other quick pieces of news. I'm sure this has you excited. Amazon nearing a deal for a Mass Effect TV series. And again, the best strapline.
Listen,
Tell me more.
I I am hyped
Hyped.
because I think a TV series is the correct format for something like this. A movie would
Mm,
not work. And there is so much outside of the main shepherd narrative that they could
mm,
explore with this. Like Amazon and, well, Amazon now, I think they do The Expanse, but
mm.
like they've done sci-fi political shit before. They
Nice.
could do it with Mass Effect, 100%. So, I mean, the deal hasn't been announced. There's just reports that it's, nearly there. So this is still years away.
Mm.
Think of like when Netflix announced a Witcher series and how it took like almost
Oh,
like 5 years
oh.
for that to
On
happen.
that, next season of Witcher around the corner. Oh
Very
my.
soon.
Yeah.
Very, very keen. Shani
Mm.
finished watching the first season.
Oh
She
my.
enjoyed it. So now we are
Nice.
ready for
Ready.
season 2. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I would watch a Mass Effect TV series. I think it would be
I
rad.
should play the games one day.
So good. Oh well, there are reports that the Legendary Edition is coming to Game Pass.
Interesting. Interesting. And then
You to ignore again.
last pieces of quick news. Keanu Reeves doesn't want Neo from The Matrix or John Wick in Mortal Kombat.
What a coward!
If it was up
Absolute
to me,
coward.
no, he says. I don't know why not. I mean, they would be Mortal Kombat. It's known for putting in fun like nonsensical action characters into the game. So like we've got Rambo and Terminator. Imagine a Neo or John Wick. That would be. I just want to see the
Imagine a John
fatalities.
Wick,
That's it.
exactly, a John Wick fatality. He would like shoot out your kneecaps and then call his dog, and his dog would eat the person's face.
I love his explanation though. He says, if it is up to me, no. Mortal Kombat is awesome in so many ways, but I think, Neo, John Wick, yeah, man, they're doing their own thing. Mortal Kombat's doing their own thing. Like
It's
that
such
is
a
the.
non-answer.
It's like you've literally said nothing in 3 sentences.
It's almost like he's like, "Yo, Mortal Kombat's a thing,
That's a
right?"
thing. And John Wick
Yeah,
and Matrix are a thing, but we're doing our own
I'm almost
things.
certain. I mean, I'm not blaming him for this, but like, Mortal Kombat has become this hodgepodge of like properties. Like you've got fucking Xenomorph in there, you got Terminator, you got RoboCop. Why can't John Wick and Neo be in there?
I mean, come
Like
on, give us John Wick.
Neo's fatality, he does that thing where he jumps into your body like he does, and then
Exactly.
he just explodes out of you.
Hmm.
It's basically how he killed Agent Smith, but with blood.
Exactly. I'd be
Yeah,
keen to see that.
great. Yeah.
Epic has acquired Harmonix to make musical gameplay for Fortnite. No shock there. Harmonix are the dudes who I think they were the original Guitar Hero people who then went on to do Rock Band.
I'm mistaken. Yeah, Harmonix.
And they've since done other things. There was another game they did.
Done a bunch. I'm just pulling them up here.
Wow, this site
Games
does not
developed.
format nasty for my little window.
Amplitude is a big one that they
That's
did.
it, yeah.
So yeah,
I
they
mean,
did Guitar Hero 2, and then moved on to Rock.
Rock Band, yeah. So this makes sense to me. I mean, Fortnite is no stranger to concerts happening within it. So
They do the Dance Central games.
they do the they do, okay. So yeah, that's their forte. So yeah, expect
Dropmix and Fuser as well. I did not realize there was a Lego Rock Band. That is
wow. So
new to
expect
me.
some Rock Band in Fortnite, maybe.
Listen, I mean, people are mad at this because they're like, "Oh, let Harmonix make games," whatever. But like, Harmonix is struggling to make like their own games for a while now. Like, Fuser didn't hit.
Yeah,
Dropmix definitely didn't hit.
exactly.
And they were always. It always felt like, this was going to happen. Like they were going to be bought out, or you were going to wake up and they were closed.
Yeah.
It was going to be an either or. So like, yeah, getting one of the best like musically focused developers in the industry to come and maybe help out with your in-game concerts.
Makes
That
sense.
seems like a fucking great fit to me.
And it
Yeah.
gives them some financial stability to
Yeah,
maybe
100%.
make a game in future. Like, I don't know, in a year or 5. Like,
I mean, they're bought by Epic, so like for now they're working on Fortnite, but maybe in 5 years, yeah, they work on their own Epic exclusive or something like that. I mean, Fortnite's concerts, I'm not big into Fortnite at all, but those concerts are incredible. Like watching them, I think I watched the Travis Scott one, like unbelievable production value and stuff. And now you've got someone that knows games and audio.
does
Like,
that, yeah.
That's a good fit to me. Yeah.
And then just last piece of news, I threw this in here because we've heard about this game a while ago. So League of Legends, that game, which is everywhere. So Riot, the creators of League of Legends, have obviously since done and announced a lot of spin-off games. So we've already seen the likes of Legends of Runeterra. I know there's another.
Didn't that just come out? There was
I
one that
don't
just came
know.
out.
Like I get them mixed up, but point is that a while ago, I think it was in 2019, they announced, alongside all these other games, a fighting game. And that was just, they were just quiet about it for the longest time. And now they've actually shown some gameplay. But it's worth keeping in mind that they did show this footage and quickly said that this game's not coming out this year nor next year. It's a 2023
still a while away. Yeah.
Thing. But yeah, I think it's cool to see because I think given the Netflix show Arcane, which we never spoke about, I'm sure we will at some stage maybe on the show. Great show.
Yeah,
League of Legends.
Good. I finished it last night.
Series on Netflix. Given that more people are now, into the League of Legends universe, if a MOBA is not your thing, maybe a fighting game is. So yeah, makes sense.
This looks like, just looking at the footage, it looks like I want to say Marvel vs. Capcom, but it looks like it's a 2v2
reminds me of that as well. Yeah, because you can like tag in your
characters a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Which
cool though.
probably means I will play it for 1 hour and be like, I don't like how this looks, but I'm
I'm
fucking
so
garbage.
bad at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be
So,
interested to see how they do, given that the fighting scene has.
yo, look at those juggles. You
Yeah,
see? Nah,
they've
this
got it,
more
man. They've got some
shit.
juggles
Yeah.
going.
I
But yeah,
can name all these characters. You got Echo, you got
mm-hmm.
Darius, sorry.
Darius, mm-hmm.
Got Ari, she was there.
She was
You had
there,
Jinx,
and that's
and that
it.
was only 4.
All 4 of them. But yeah, I think that is the last thing for gaming news this week.